I'm probably crazy, but you know, when you get an itch, sometimes you just gotta scratch it. So I traded my 2000 Honda Prelude, which was a pretty nice car, for a 1983 Caprice wagon. It's got a 79 Camaro engine. I haven't run the numbers, so no telling, but sounds like it's got a little cam in it or something like that. It runs decent, and I'm doing some carb tuning, so kind of going back to my cutting my teeth days of small block Chevy stuff, kind of relearning all this. So let's show you what's going on. So supposed to be a 350. Could be, you know, all the block sizes are the same until you look at the numbers on the backside. I haven't done that yet, but Quadra junk. It was idled super high when I got it, not like 3,000 or anything. It's probably at like 15 or 1,800. We've backed this down, and these don't have the high idle screw, so there's nothing to adjust there. And it was starting hard, so I retarded the timing a bit, so it's starting better now. And we've run the jets all the way in and backed them out 2.5. So I'm gonna fire it up and see what's going on. It's really not a perfect car, and it's just got a rattle can job on it, but it's pretty straight. I mean, you can tell it was like a cream or white color. I just did take the roof rack off, and we're gonna weld all these holes up. That way we don't have any leaks. And then I think there's the one back here. Window does work. Third row seating. Very ugly, like browny maroon color, and then it's got the, you know, the really classy wood grain. AM FM radio. Don't mind my balls here. Original keys, which is cool. Dash is cracked pretty bad. I mean, good God, it started. I haven't started this thing in like probably 3 or 4 hours, so that's impressive. It does sound pretty good. It's got an exhaust leak on this manifold, I'm pretty sure. The headliner needs redone for sure, but this thing's like, it's like driving a big couch. It rides good, it rides great. I'm used to import stuff, and that's what I've done for, I don't know, probably at least 3 years in a row now. That's what I've had, is import stuff. And I was having the itch to go back to muscle car stuff. Well, this isn't a muscle car, but you know, old power wagon. That's not bad. Important part is the old ball blower over there. Ball blower 5000. I must be a grown child. I was lubing some hinges and stuff up. So this window, I took this panel off yesterday and lubed this window up so it would go up and down. Works great. And then I was lubing some of the hinges and stuff. And here is the regulator, and I did all that yesterday. But I did these hinges, and I started noticing this. And I was like, why is that there? And then I was in here earlier, just hanging out when I was doing laundry. And I noticed this handle I couldn't get out, so I had to hop over this seat. This thing just keeps getting cooler and cooler to me. And then this can be either done by the key, which is the original key, or there's a switch up front on the dash. So I'm just going through and getting some thing laters. All right, so story is it's run a little weird. It's very smelly, which, you know, it's old small block stuff is smelly in comparison with newer things, right? And so I figured I'd check the spark plugs. Wires are 2 different sets, so wires could be an issue, but it feels like it's got like a misfire somewhere in there. Oil was way over full, like well over a quart. Got that back down to full, so we're gonna go through and check these plugs. We're gonna go through and check these plugs real quick. This is 1, and then we'll do 3, 5, and 7, and then 2, 4, 6, and 8 over there. So we'll just do 1 bank at a time. Noticing some stuff. Lower radiator hose is kind of soft, so if I make a video of this thing blowing up on me and spewing coolant everywhere, that might be a thing before I get it fixed. But yeah, so if you notice, these are straight plugs, and these ones are 90 degrees. So right now I'm just gonna check these, and if they look like hell, I'll go ahead and change them out. But so far this is looking pretty good. Gap should be between, you know, 3500ths and 4200ths. These are at 4100ths. We're gonna leave it there. A little hotter spark. So I guess I could always knock them down and get less, but you know, like, we already got the top hat mod. Why not just run a little hotter spark? Burn it up, you know. All right, here's plugs 8, 6, 4, and 2. And they look maybe a little rich, but thankfully they don't look lean. It's not white and hot. They look pretty good. They're a little oily, but probably got valve cover leak. This one's a little rich. That one looks pretty healthy there. And then I already scrubbed this one off. So they're all looking pretty good. I'll check the gappings. See if we get anything crazy. I'll let you know. So I saw this cherry bomb under there, and it didn't sound bad, but when I got to looking at it, I was like, what in the Sam hell? I don't know. So I had this thing laying around, and it went right on. So I just rebolted it back on there. Alright, since I don't have the current cash to do pretty stuff, because there's like so much I want to do, I just want it running and driving good right now. And we'll start doing the more simpler, the free things, it's just labor inclusive. I do want to delete this, but because I don't use it, it is cruise control. I don't even know if it works. I've literally not used it. This being broken, not that big of a deal. I'm not that worried about it, but the issue is deleting this. This unit is got the cable driven speedo. So it's got the one that comes from the trans and the one that goes to the gauge. And these are different sizes. It's kind of hard to see, but this one is visibly, it's not the camera, it's not an optical illusion. This is visibly smaller. This is probably closer to like a 5/8, and this is probably 3/4 or something similar. Something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure if the gauge is this size or this size. So if it's this size, I would just take this off and run it into the back of the gauge. But I want to say it's more this size. But oh, it's loose. I haven't taken these off in a long time, and I don't, 15 years, it's hard to remember the difference between this size and this size being on the back of the gauge. So this is going to stay for now, just so I have the use of my speedometer. And we're going to unhook everything, get rid of vacuum lines. I'm going to start cleaning this thing up. And I just realized that this was unhooked, so it's of no use. It will not go into anything that I want it to, so because this is a different engine, so nothing really matches. So we're going to delete this. At some point we're going to delete this, but we're just going to get rid of all the extra shenanigans going on. And then I was like, what is that going to? It's just over here. Then I don't know. Actually, at some point, since this no longer has AC, I'm pretty sure this is where AC mounts. Could be wrong. It could be down on the bottom. But, or this could be smog. It might be smog pump. This bracket at some point will get cut and shaped off. That way it's not all the extra bulk. Plans for headers, and I will have to redo the exhaust, so that's not gonna probably be anytime soon. And we will just start to clean some things up and figure some stuff out. There's some bare wires over here. Could use a lower radiator hose. And then this stuff just needs cleaned up, and at some point the whole car will get painted. And I'm just gonna do a nice rattle can job on it, because this is not pretty. They literally just sprayed over it, and you can see all the lines. And then they didn't do any of the stuff you can see through the cracks, which is annoying. I'm fine with this being white, but get down an inch or so. But it is what it is. Got some plans that are probably too big for this car. Well, it ain't tucked, but got all this deleted, and got all this cleaned up. This ain't perfect, but it does look better. So I just reused some of this old wired cover, cleaned it up. It looks much better. Cruise control's still here. Canister is gone, which is just some junk in there. And then with that being gone, it helps, change headlights. And then also, you don't really have to worry about corrosion so much with that not being there, and leaves and junk getting under it, which it looked pretty clean, but I just did wash it out. I'll get rid of that at some point. These wires I haven't cut because I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to relocate this, or I haven't got rid of that harness yet. So, but all the vacuum lines are gone, so it's cleaned up. I would like to get rid of this, but I also do like having my speedo, so that's gonna stay for now. And then the line that goes to the fuel tank from the canister, it's just plugged until I can find some better plugs. I have to go buy some because there's some old school plugs over here. All right, I've done a few more deletes. Got rid of the diaphragm for cruise control. Something else that was vacuum over here wasn't hooked up, so. And then this bracket, took it off, lopped it off, threw some paint on there so it doesn't rust. Tightened it, and don't look at those. They're not done yet. I just need to make sure it runs. Start, we'll find out. So I've had a pretty small series of annoying events, old car issues, you know. So yeah. So went for a drive the other day. Put the windows down like I've done a couple times before. I haven't had this car very long, so window went down perfectly fine. Fired the car up to move it. I was gonna roll the windows up, park it, and then window no go up. So, and this one has, it's kind of like the Chevy Cavalier I did. So this is ugly looking, but I had to drill some holes to get to they're like, I don't know, they're probably 3/8, but I used 10 mil that hold the glass on here. These guys, so they sit like way down here, and you can't get to them. And especially with the motor seized, it has the motor built onto the regulator, and then it's got these square nuts, which they don't really come off very well unless you can get a screwdriver inside, and I couldn't get a screwdriver inside with glass down, so had to do that, which is not a big deal. It's just, you don't see it now. Now you see it, now you don't. So I'm not that worried about it. So I got this one off. I drilled this rivet out, that one. This one, wherever it went. This one would not come completely loose. This one would not come completely loose. So now that I got the glass up out of the way, it's just kind of taped up. Now I should be able to get a flathead in here and get these loose and get this regulator out. Maybe it's seized, that would be cool, but I've already done the testing. I have power from up and down. It should be grounded unless something internally on the motor has an issue. So I have power through the switch. I have power. I took the harness off the back of the motor, have power, so up and down, but it's not doing nothing. So might as well grease this arm in here. I'm gonna pull the regulator, see if we can't get it unseized, and then if it's done, see what we gotta do to take it apart. And then if we have to get if it's I know some of these are not able to separate with the regulator and motor, so if we have to get those two, we'll do that, and if not, I'll pull the motor off and then we'll grease all the regulator and that stuff. We'll start working on some body stuff. I'm gonna take the grinder and cut those off. No, there's none there, but I do need to grind this down. Bing, bing, bing. So we're gonna attempt to replace this radio today. I got a double or a singleton actually, which I'm hoping I just cut this out and it fits in there, but I don't know. There's two screws right up in here, and it looks like I probably dropped them on the floor, which there's one, and hopefully I picked up the other one. Oh yeah, it's over there. All right, so I'm gonna pull these knobs off, and hopefully this dude slides off. I got something grabbing down here. What do we got? I think it just goes up and out. Maybe not. since we got that popped off and out of the way, I did some prodding here with my tester, and yellow is ignition hot. Problem is with this old of a car is it has the mechanical, like where you push in to save stations, and it's only AM FM, and it only works when the car's on. It only has ignition 12, so it doesn't have a constant 12 volt. And if we want to retain settings in this, it's Bluetooth, so we need to run a wire from battery constant. So we can do that off the fuse box, or if you really wanted to, you could find something that's like this, should be constant 12 volt. We can tie off of it and run it to our 12 volt constant or memory. Which one it is here? Red ignition. Okay, so it's yellow. Yellow on this one is, see, I'm used to old car stuff where yellow was ignition and red was hot, but now red is ignition and yellow is hot, so that's the difference. Lighter does have 12 constant, so I will be wiring off of this, but I did pop the breaker or flip the fuse on it, so I'm gonna have to replace that before this will work. So fun. All right, so funny story. Not really funny at all, but I don't know, clever. I realized I had a radio I could put in here the whole time that had Bluetooth. I've had this radio for like 4 or 5 years. Rarely gets used. So I pulled my radio out of my camper. It's kind of a different style, but it is exactly, the plugins are exactly the same as the Boss one that I tried to put in here, but I cut the harness back out, so I'm gonna have to wire it in like it'd be scratch. So it's funny, I mean, both of these are exactly the same. I went and plugged the Boss radio in to where this one was plugged in to see, before I cut this out, to see if maybe I was doing something wrong, but no. I've tried to wiring it to batteries. I've tried wiring it into the dash here. I was like, maybe I did something wrong, because I know I did blow the lighter fuse, but I did replace that. And then I did go try it on this harness, which is exactly the same. The pin diagram, exactly the same. So, not me. The guy ripped me off. I should have checked. I'm upset about it, but I just gave him a bad review, and I'm going to try to be an adult about it and move on my way. $50 $50 though, you know, like, it's still upsetting. I'm not rolling in dough here. So there is a trim piece that covers this up, so it won't look exactly like this, but it's going to go in here something like that. We'll make it work. It's definitely going to be unique. And I mean, look at the convenience of that. I've been using this Bluetooth radio up in the dash for music the past couple days since I took the stock radio out because it's Bluetooth. And I get to listen to that while the car's off and I'm working. Yay! Just plug all just the power and ground. And then the old school stuff throws me off compared to the modern, because I know this looks weird because I had to run the 12 volt off of the lighter wire, so I'm not going to use that. That'll get replaced with something at some point. So here, here's ignition, or there's 12 volt, and then here is ground. And where's she at? And then this is switched ignition. So on the old school stuff, yellow's switched ignition, and then red is usually the hot. But here, yellow, on modern stuff, yellow is the hot and red switched ignition. So kind of throws me off all the time. But blah, 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 blah. See if fish comes on. Oh, there we go. I might know what I'm doing. Bluetooth. Oh, I might need to turn it on here. Power. Okay. Bluetooth. No link. But it's on and working, powered. Noise. Yeah, these speakers are toast. So I didn't do much of a video on the grill just because I was really focused on it, and got some issues, got some little fitment issues here with it. The grill sticks out a smidge past this, so at some point I'm gonna have to take it off and then grind it down, make it a little skinnier, because that's all she's got. But overall, currently, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't rattle, doesn't make any weird noise. Pretty sturdy. I mean, you hit something with it, it's gonna break, but that's pretty much any grill. Today I'm going to tuck this bumper in because I've never been a fan of how far these stick out, plus the gapping. So if you don't know, these cars come with shock mounted bumpers. So there's like pretty much a shock that mounts to the bumper and then goes inside of the frame and is mounted outside of the shock to hold the bumper up. But if it hits something, the bumper will move in and then back out. So what I've done, I'll show you here. These are the shocks, and you can see where I just drilled a hole in it to relieve the pressure. And same on the one over here. And we're gonna take the bumper off because I don't want to hurt the bumper. It's in pretty nice shape. We're gonna take the bumper off and then knock those shock mounts in, which will push this whole thing in. Okay, so of course I was just doing some sanding and wet sanding and got all this wet, but we got what? 4 bolts here, so we'll get 2 on this side and 2 on that side, and then I have to undo the blinkers, and that'd be nice if all these come off that easy. That'd be crazy. It's almost like I've taken this bumper off before, and I was going to take it off here to do some painting stuff, but I decided I didn't want to because these were really quite a pain. So, oh no, oh, I thought I lost it. So we'll get all these removed and then we'll get the bumper out of the way. All right, so I got pretty much all these up. Water in the mouth. Ugh. I got all these loose. We're gonna back this one off to the end of the stud, but I'm gonna leave it on there because if you take the other side all the way off and it decides it wants to go and you're not expecting this to fall and it falls in your face, it doesn't feel so good. God dang it. So we're gonna go work on the other side over there, and after this trip, I'll be back. All right, so I'm gonna set you up here. That way you can watch me drop this bumper on myself. I get a good laugh out of it, but hopefully that doesn't happen. It's loose. I'm gonna put my knee up there, that way it doesn't want to fall. Oh, it's getting heavy. Come on. These are so long-winded. I got the blinker out, so I don't have to worry about that. There's the last bolt. Oh my god. Oh, nope, I left that one in. Shit, I forgot about it. I hurt myself on that one. I thought I took it out. That's a good 40 pounds. That was kind of heavy. Okay, so I didn't want to take these out completely. They're just like a plastic, so I trimmed them back. That way when the bumper goes back, it'll still have some gap coverage. Because that bumper is not going to come, I don't think it's not going to be flush. It won't happen. So I'm going to leave a little bit of gap here, and then I can always trim this back if I need to. And I'm going to go get a hammer, and I'm gonna hammer these in. Man, it looks weird. It almost looks like a mix between the old Nissan pickups and like a El Camino like this. But here's our hammer. 10-pounder should do it. So you can see the hole in it. I literally just took a drill bit and drilled a hole in it, and it let the air out. And then I think we're bottomed out there. Yeah, I think the cylinder's bottomed out there. I'm gonna fit this, and I'm gonna knock the other side over so you can kind of see how much farther this went in. I'm gonna just set it on there and see if I like the gap clearance, and if I don't like the gap clearance, we will remove these, cut the backs of the shock off, and these should push all the way through. And these do spin, which not that easy, but they do spin to rotate into place. So it's not big of a deal if they twist or turn. We'll just knock them back into place where we need them. Okay, for now, I'm good with this. I don't want it to be flush yet. So I'm gonna fill this gap, bolt back in, tighten it up, and we'll see what this looks like. I like the little lip. Currently, all right, let's say I fill this in and I want it flush, then I'm gonna want this flush, and then I'm gonna have to cut the bumper and move everything over, and this is good for now. It comes with the extra like little storage cubby up here. It's great, but that's where we're at right now. I'm just kind of caught up on the video. I am in the process of doing some other stuff. I guess I'll let you know if anybody's curious, because you don't really see these on the road. I am in the process of building a steel nostril hood off the OEM hood. Yeah, it's very tedious and time consuming and frustrating. And I've got one nostril on there. I just glued it on there. No, it's metal glued. And then my window motor came in, so that'll get put in. I'll have to reassemble the regulator and put it all back in, and hopefully I still have all the stuff for it. And we still got a lot of cleaning up to do, body work. I did stumble across a late 80s 454 big block, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I might make a separate video because I would like to trade it up. Might do one of those. Or I'm looking to trade it for some SBC performance parts, or like just another engine that I can slowly build. So yeah, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. We got more to come. Hopefully not too long from now. But, you know, life's pretty busy, so we'll see what happens. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.